Hello all. So, today we are here to talk about the books that I've read this past um, this past month and what did I accomplish or not. So, let's start with some of them I already talk in this channel, others not. So, those I don't want to really go through. I was finishing the first book I was finishing was Andrew Piazza, A Song for the Void, which is this one. I gave it a good enough rating that I wanted to check second novel. Then I finish. Don't remember the order. Yeah, the second one was Sigvald, the Warhammer fantasy stuff. I gave it a 78 of 100. Then I read Day of Ascension by Adrian Tchaikovsky, 84 out of 100. Good read if you want to know more about Gene Steeler. Got The Goblin's Revenge, I read in one day by Mike Brooks. I gave it an 80 out of 100. Then, and before of those, I read Storm of Iron, 89 out of 100, one of my favorite books of this month. Strong contender for the book of the month. Then I read Carcarodon's Red Tide. I don't know. So I give it a 65. Probably my least favorite books of all this month. Then I finished one book by Jeffrey Thomas, which is this one. It's called The Coming of the Old Ones. Very short, around 70 pages. And I finish up this month with Necropolis by Dan Habit. And this is undoubtedly the best book of the month and probably one of the contenders for best book of the year. I gave it a 98 out of 100. And why? So, I made a review on Goodreads, but just to summarize, so basically follow Gaunt. This is the third novel on the series. There are 15 novels, if I'm not mistaken. There are also a new one, which is not connected to the first timeline, so I'm going to talk about this timeline. There are 50 novels, and these 50 novels we follow Gaunt, and these ghosts, basically people that were from a planet called Tanith that was destroyed by chaos, and they are now trying to survive in this apocalypse, in these worlds, and so on. So it's a very bleak world, Warhammer, but everyone knows that. But also, in this particular case, they are fighting in a siege. There is a siege, hive siege, and the chaos is encircled them, so they have to fight. So, first of all, this is a 300 page book, and there are at least 3 dozen or 400 40 40 named characters, probably more. There are, okay, of course, there are a couple of that we can call it major, like Gaunt, for example, but there are a lot of characters. Okay, the main character is of course Gaunt, but we have got entirely chapters dealing with the with the siege itself. So basically, we are seeing the eyes of people that are living in that siege. We've got some that are dealing with the people that are fighting, so PDF. Then we've got the Gaunt's perspective, bloodbloods, and nobles. Yeah, a lot of characters. We are having a lot of characters. So it can be a bit daunting if not reading this in altogether. If you are going to read in slots, I'm guessing you are going to be a bit lost without a companion guide or something like that with a named character, because there are a lot of characters and it can be a bit daunting. But everything in this book flows so well, from the siege itself, the despair, the politics, within the Hive and the Imperial Guard and the Commissars and so on. It's amazingly done, and it's, you see how these people suffer and how they fighting and so on. It's amazingly done, really really good. I really advise you to read this, even if you don't follow Warhammer 40k. I believe this will be a nice introduction. There are two novels previous than this one, the map. There are two novels previous of this series, but they are not, okay, which is First and Only and the Ghostmaker, but they are not really that. They are good because you see some characters here that are in previous novels, but you will not feel lost. So this is the first full-length novel depicting Gaunt and his ghosts, because the first two are interconnected stories. The first one was really a short story collection. The second one was a really short story collection where Mnet put several short stories together and in between put a little something that connects them all. So yeah, this is the first tale that really see them in a full, really in a full novel, and it's amazing. Everything in here is amazing. If I had a complaint, maybe would be the lack of information about the chaos. So basically, they are fighting chaos because they tell us they are fighting chaos. They're really not developed, which happens a lot with the Habit novels, at least the ones I read. For example, Double Hill is the same thing. We know there are fighting chaos, but everything is in this perspective of the Imperial Guard, and what you know about chaos is what the characters says. So maybe this is the only complaint. So yeah, book of the month, Necropolis. I'm still reading Thancred's Doom by C.L. Murner, which I'm going to finish this month, without any doubt. We're in April. I'm enjoying and reading. I've read already 2 novellas in this Refuge series, which I'm going to read next. There are 3 more novellas: Bonfires Burning Bright, Ashes and Dust, and Lost in the Echo. And I'm going to read one like I did before. I read one, read another thing, and then read the next one. Then I'm going to continue to read, or start, I don't know, because I have started and then stopped, Contagia by Michael McBride. And the reason I stopped was it was taking too long and my mind was not in this place. Even very short. I was my eyes were not that good, so I had to change glasses. So I'm getting old, so I have to now to see far away and near. So I did stop reading this because the characters were very very small and it was upsetting my eyes. So, but I will continue this month. Next, what I'm going to read this month. I'm going to do, as I said before in the previous videos, I don't know if you are going to watch that video or not, but basically I'm going to try to read what you own. So my goal is to read 50 books or 12,500 pages. What comes first? Because some books are gigantes, like this one, 400 pages. Some books are small, like this one. So 250 pages per book. That's the if you divided 50 by 12,500 pages. So it's the mix. So what arrives first? So let's start with some books I'm going to read. Some that I'm really interested in because I want to buy the rest, and I don't want to. My thing is to buy a book that costs 50 euros, but a book that costs 80, it's a bit different. So my first goal is going to be to read the first book in the Ian Fleming Casino Royale. Okay, this is a Folio Society novel, and this is the first one. I have 4, so my goal is to read this one, and if possible, buy the next one. Dealing with subscriptions, I'm going to read my first Goldsboro subscription, which is going to be one book that has high ratings, which is called A Reluctant Spy. by David Goodman. Another mystery novel. I have read that good things. It's 350 pages, so I guess that it's going to be a short read. This in terms of mystery. In terms of other genres, let me just show you. We've got here a novel that I should have read 2 months ago. I didn't, and it's going to be a steampunk fantasy novel. It's going to be this one by Morgan Stang, which is called A Murder on the Lamplight Express. This is the second novel on the Lamplight Express stuff. There are 3 novels so far. I really enjoyed the first one. It was one of my favorite books of the year last year, so all good. Then is going to be 2 novels of stuff that I don't usually read. Well, one at least, which is going to be The Tall Stranger by Louis L'Amour. It's a Western novel, 150 pages. So then a book by I have high hopes, but unfortunately it may be a bit dated. I don't know, which is called Edmund Cooper, All Fool's Day. We're talking about the book from the 60s, and my perspective of books that are written in the 60s and 70s and so on, it's not that good. To be honest, I'm going to read 3 novels from previous from the 70s or so, which is going to be the Casino Royale and these 2. This one is from the 50s, if I'm mistaken, yeah, 57, so, and 67, so. The next one, it's going to be a sci-fi novel, which is going to be Hull 03 by Greg Bear, which is Starship, novel focused on, I don't know what this book is about, but I'm eagerly waiting to read about a book by Greg Bear, which is one of most anticipated authors that I've owned. I've got also 2 more novels by Jeffrey Thomas, 2 not connected to Punktown. My goal is to read more stuff before going into Punktown stuff. It's going to be these 2. They are short novels, Darker Worlds and Uncanny Valley. Both are horror, sci-fi, kind of those stuff, Lovecraftian horror, but not connected to Punktown. Then we've got The Summer I Die, which was suggested by someone on YouTube, I don't remember who. It's a trilogy, and by Ryan C. Thomas. This is the first book. Very fast, all 200 pages. Now 3 more. If I read all of these, I will be very happy. Ray Carton, Paranoia Tango by SST Publications. This is a short novella with 150 pages. Don't call this a short story because it's not. It's signed. It's a PC edition, but whatever. And it's signed. And then you've got Ian Rogers Gray. This is published by, I don't know which, Absinthe Books, so PS Publishing House. It's also a novella, 150 pages. And last, but certainly not least, it's going to be the first book on World of Darkness, the first novel in the Clan Wars series, Clan novel series, which is called Toreador. This is the 13-book series, and I'm really eager to wait to read this. My goal is to read 1 book per month. So let's see, I can do it. I don't think that I will have any problem reading almost all of this in a couple of days, because they are all of them short. My goal is having around 250 pages in average, and I think it has. So yeah, let's see. Yeah. So that's it from me. I may change. I don't know. Sometimes I receive a book or see something on the shelves and I say, okay, I want to read that now. And when I put this kind of TbR piles, I become a bit restrained. I have to read this now. I've said already that I'm going to read. So I don't know, but I believe I believe I will read all of this pretty fast. I'm going to have a vacations on the 23rd of April to the 31. So I guess I can read all of this. Let's see. Thank you all for hearing me. If you want to comment on any of these books or something I should read or something like that, please do tell me. Thank you all. Have a great day. Month.